So it looks like Chris Brown is about to get the redemption he's been desperately waiting for, because Jaguar Wright just exposed some new evidence about what really happened on the night he put his hands on Rihanna, and y'all cannot begin to imagine the things that Jaguar had to say. Apparently, Rihanna infected Chris with a STD she contracted from having so many hookup sessions with Jay-Z in his office. Not only that, but Chris caught Rihanna and Jay in the act several times, and that's what triggered him to mess her face up. According to Jaguar, Jay used his money and his influence to bury all this evidence because he knows once all this is exposed, it will be known by everybody that he's been getting intimate with immature girls. You know, the same thing his best friend R Kelly and Diddy have been doing. Now, in case y'all didn't know what was going on, Jaguar recently appeared in a series of new interviews after taking a break from social media. However, this time she ain't come to play because she's going in on everybody. She recently had an explosive interview where she revealed some never before heard information about how Rihanna and Jay-Z ganged up to ruin Chris's career by tagging him as a woman beater. Now, if y'all remember, Chris came under fire back in 2009 when he put his hands on Rihanna and nearly unalived her. She was severely bruised. BLOOD was all over her face, and she could barely stay conscious. Most people don't even know the gravity of the DV until somebody from Rihanna's team leaked the photo of her very severely injured face to the press. Chris faced immediate cancellation and got dropped from every brand deal he had. According to Chris, the whole thing went down in the car while he and Rihanna were having a very heated argument about him cheating on her. Mind you, he was driving the entire time they were screaming in each other's faces. He said, "She throws the phone, I hate you, whatever, whatever. She starts hitting me. We're in a little Lamborghini. You know, she's fighting me. It's like a real fight in the car. We were driving in the streets. Like, I remember she tried to kick me, just like ish. But then I really hit her with a closed fist, like I punched her, and it busted her lip. And when I saw it, I was in shock. I was like, F, why did I hit her like that?" So from there, she's spitting red liquids in my face. It raised me even more. It's like a real fight in the car, and we driving in the street. He also said Rihanna grabbed for his crotch while she was trying to get his phone from him. So in retaliation, he bit her to get her off of him because he was still driving and didn't want to end up crashing into another car. At some point, he stopped the car, and that's when Rihanna got out and started to scream, "Help, he's trying to unalive me." I was like, stop, we gonna get in trouble. But of course, people were still not here for this, and they continued to blame Chris for what took place. People even put him on blast for trying to pin the whole thing on Rihanna instead of taking responsibility and accepting that he's a very violent person who almost took a woman's life. But with everything Jaguar just revealed, people are revisiting that whole incident and believe that Rihanna and Jay-Z manipulated the entire situation to destroy Chris. Now, as most of y'all already know, there have been rumors for years now that Rihanna and Jay used to sleep with each other when he signed her to Def Jam at just 17. Apparently, he promised to give her a record deal in exchange for her to become his side piece. And Rihanna, being the innocent, naive girl that she was back then, she felt like she had no other choice but to say yes to Jay's advances. At the time, Jay was the president of Def Jam, so he had the power to either make or break her career, and Rihanna was very well aware of that. This was revealed by Rihanna's publicist at the time, and the news quickly spread like wildfire. It got worse when Rihanna herself recalled how Jay would lock her up in his office until 3 a.m. But as usual, Jay used his power and influence to make this story disappear before it could get any bigger. The publicist who spilled the tea about the affair mysteriously came back and backtracked on everything he said by calling it, quote, "a PR stunt that I did out of desperation to help break Ponder Replay." He also added, "It was reckless and I didn't think it was gonna work. I was just throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what would stick." But a lot of people didn't believe this because they feel like Jay forced the publicist to take back everything he said. The rumors got even worse when Jaguar revealed some months ago that Jay-Z gave Rihanna an STD, which she also ended up giving Chris Brown.
I never signed no paperwork.
Okay, you never signed no paperwork.
I just didn't want to put my family's life on the line. Jay-Z gave her the herpes that she gave to Chris Brown. Rihanna was only 14, 15 when he started with her and signed her to death jail.
At the time, Jaguar didn't really go into details about the alleged STI, but in her latest interview, she didn't hold back from spilling all the tea. Apparently, Cris knew Jay was hooking up with Rihanna, but her infecting him with herpes is where he drew the line.
How long are you guys gonna hold on to Chris Brown and Rihanna? You know what I'm saying?
I don't understand why people keep talking about that. It was forever ago. They were both very young, and he had just had his first herpes outbreak from her giving him the herpes.
According to Jaguar, the herpes infection was what triggered Cris to get aggressive with Rihanna that night. Not only did she get Cris infected, but when Cris pulled up on her in Clive Davis's house to talk about the situation, he saw her having another man's wood in her mouth and sucking it.
That first night, when he had that outbreak and he busted into Clive Davis's house and said, "Where the f is this dirty cat?" I can't fault him for that. He had this is beautiful, tall, wonderful. Chris Brown, she didn't ruin him. She ruined him at 19 years old. He's got the Jay-Z herpes.
Oh,
and it's unfair because now that's a part of his story. And Rihanna ain't innocent because she was in there giving that job in the coat closet when Chris Brown came in. He said, "She always sucking something." Then he said, "I'm done with you," and he stormed out of Clive Davis's house, got into his very expensive car, and Rihanna chased after him. She gets in the car and started fighting on him because he embarrassed her for calling her a sucking and saying in front of everybody that she gave him the herpes at Clive Davis's house the night before the fucking Grammys. She in the car trying to fuck him up. They're speeding on the Pacific Coast Highway, and you know Pacific Coast Highway, very steep. She could have the both of them fighting him while he was trying to just get the fuck away from her. Because Lord knows he couldn't get away from the herpes, and he hit her back. Calm down.
My.
And all of this is happening while he's doing damn near 100 miles per hour in a sports car on Pacific Coast Highway while he's still trying to register that he is beautiful Chris Brown and his is now trash at 19.
My.
Because he got set up with a that was fucking a pedophile who gave her herpes. And that's what happened. And people wonder why I speak up for Chris Brown. That's why. And if I'm lying, all of them can sue me, even you, Riri.
Jaguar also said Jay and Rihanna decided to switch up the whole story and give a different account of what happened so the truth wouldn't be exposed.
Then they sat there and Jay-Z and them get on the radio and they talk shit about that little fucking boy. And then they put together that whole fucking sham and then have him arrested on the red carpet just to make sure America fucking hated him for fucking defending himself against that crazy. I mean, she's and she's pure and she has all of my respect when it comes to the game.
Ooh.
But you ruined Chris Brown's life, and you knew you ruined his life, and the only reason you did it was because your Jay-Z told you to, so that he could cover up the fact that he started fucking you at 14 when he was damn near 30 years old.
And in case you're wondering where Jaguar got all this tea from, she claims she was at the party that night and saw literally everything go down.
What happened that night, and I know because I was at the party. It was the last Clive Davis kiss the pinky ring party I ever went to.
So as y'all can see, it looks like we've been getting lied to for a while now. There was so much more to all this story than we initially thought, but none of us ever knew this because Jay made sure to cover all of it up. As usual, people had their own thoughts about this, like this person who said, remember, as part of Chris Brown's sentencing, he was forbidden to talk about what happened, and the only reason for that was to protect Rihanna. If he's the only one guilty, why couldn't he talk about it? It was a dead giveaway she wasn't innocent. Another person said, that is so messed up. Chris Brown caught all that heat. Jay-Z should go to jail. I can't fault Chris Brown for going beast mode. If Chris Brown comes out and says this, she and Jay-Z would be in trouble. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Jay-Z and Rihanna getting exposed? And do y'all think they're responsible for Chris Brown's decline? Y'all been knew what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.